Yeah. Welcome to Yard Prep, the Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Five Reasons Sports Network. As you see, the normal crew is not here. Juan Cardona, Michael Christian, and Kai Chisholm are all attending the game in person.
You gave away the secret too early, man. Damn, I was gonna be Kai the whole time. I was like, they're not gonna notice the difference.
Listen, bro, they left the show in the wrong person's hands, so y'all know it's going off the rails early and often. But since they're not here, that means I can do what I want. And I feel like since I got two members of the Clutch Corner here with me, it is only right that we do a proper introduction to what this is.
We're going to let the band deal with this.
Jimmy Butler puts the Heat back up by one. Out of bio, flipping it up and in. Tyler Hero from way downtown. Fantastic play for the first-time All-Star. Hero for three. Yes!
This guy.
That's a tough shot. And the Heat lead by 5.
Led the league in blocks last year, fourth this year, and there's nobody blocking that.
Rebound, Adebayo, right over Smart, puts it up and in.
Because right now, the Miami Heat are making sure that their presence is felt.
It's only right we do a Clutch Corner intro.
Right. It's only right. So, the Miami Dolphins today are taking on the Houston Texans in the Battle of the Bums of the NFL. We just got word, Threat just talked not too long ago, that Tua Tagovailoa isn't even playing. Threat, since you brought the news to me, bro, you tell me, man, how does that make you feel to hear that Tua won't be playing in a game essentially of wait a minute. Who
the fuck do you think you are playing the Clutch Corner introduction on my pregame show? Huh?
Kachi Chisholm, listen, man. It's only right, man. It was all Clutch Corner members here. I felt like this show needed the best intro on the network, like we talked about on Twitter. And so I played it, my brother. But I am glad that you are here. I know you don't have long with us.
I'm here for like 4 minutes,
Yeah. So I want you to get your conversation in. Threat, I'm sorry, but I'm going to Kai right quick. Talk to me about how you feeling about Tua not being playing today.
I feel like this jersey is now a waste of my time and my girlfriend's parents' money. It's clear at this point that as much as we all can like Tua, availability is the best ability, and he just does not have that. So,
still excited about it? Are you out of here?
Nah, it's just bye. Like it's just gonna be he's out of here. Hit the road, Jack, and unfortunately, don't you come back no more. Am I so excited about the game? Absolutely not. When I saw that he was on the injury report for this finger, I knew he wasn't gonna play, and now I don't even want to go anymore. I'm going to because I paid for it, but I'm just gonna sit in those nice ass club seats just to watch the Dolphins get blown out by the Texans and Jacoby Brissett not be able to throw 5 yards down the field. So, it's depressing. What can we say? It's depressing.
Facts. Threat. How you feeling about Tua not being in the game?
As a diehard Tua stan, man, I've purchased so many. I don't purchase jerseys. For no sport at all. The Tua jerseys were my first purchases ever for any sport, any jersey. So, like I said, man, the best ability is availability, and him not being out there once again. I mean, there's just no more excuses that I could continue to make for Tua. I mean, him not playing is devastating, man. It's like we're going to go through this year in, year out. I mean, he's just injury prone. He's small. We knew that kind of coming out. We took the chance, and the gamble not really paying off. I really have no more excuses. I'm all out of excuses. I know we're not going to get much out of Brissett. And the worst part about this is, we're going to lose. No, I'm not going to say we're going to lose. Yeah, we have a terrible record. And the draft pick is not ours. So it's like it's just tough. We're in the worst possible situation ever. I mean, it's brutal right now.
Yeah. In an already bleak season, to go into a game versus one of the worst teams in the league without your starting quarterback, Simba, where are you on this game now that Tua isn't playing?
I don't even know there's a point watching it, man. Like, like honestly,
Yo, I paid to be there, bro.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, you guys fucked up. Like, shit.
But like, were we really expect? Like, no. Oh my god, bro! Like,
you guys should have started selling that ticket as soon as you heard that he had that finger injury. Like, you should have just started selling that ticket.
It was $100 a piece to sit in club. Bro. Right now, you can buy tickets for $5 on SeatGeek. Like,
really?
Yes.
Royal's like, you might see me there today.
We're down bad, and it's about the 1-7, so I'm not surprised with that at all.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, like, do you guys give the Dolphins any chance of winning this game?
They better win. No, they still better win. Like,
really?
Hell
what
yeah.
What have they shown you that is giving you confidence to say that they better win, Simba?
It's not that they've shown me anything. It's just that we're paying for a more expensive team. We have better players. We better win. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, this is still no excuse. Like, this is still the defense that Flores wanted, right? Like, this is everything that he wanted. He got the guys he wanted. We paid the people he wanted. So we still better win. Like, I know that he's struggling as a coach right now, but like, he has to win. Like, he still has to win.
No, sabotage. Go ahead, Threat.
For me, it's not even about winning and losing anymore. It's about evaluating the player progressions that we got going on for this team. Because at the end of the day, we're not gonna get rid of all 22 starters. It has to be salvageable out of this whole squad. So I want to see some progression. I want to see how Holland is going to look. I want to see how Phillips is going to look. I want to see if Wilkins can continue being, dominant on that front seven. I want to see if we can figure out the center position. I just want to see some progression from some of the guys. I want to see Gesicki continue to be a top 5 tight end. I just want to see progression. That's all I look for in these games at this point. It's not even about winning or losing to me anymore.
To be honest with you, I think the only evaluation that really is of any note is Tua. And it's just kind of like with him not playing, it's like the center, y'all have had 3 different centers this year. I guess I'm a Dolphins fan. We have had 3 different centers play this year. We already know what it is with the offensive line. They all are pretty much trash. I think we got a solid evaluation on what Javon Holland is or could be in this league. And so Tua seems to be the only thing that needs to be really evaluated. And without him today, like what's the point, Kai?
There is no point, bro. There's no point in anything. Like, it's just, I literally wish I didn't delete the video that I had up, but like, it's just pain, bro. It's just pain. All it is pain. Now I got to go drive and then wait for Michael Christian to pick me up, then go with Michael Christian to the fucking game, and then sit there in just a depressive state. Like, that's just what this is now at this point.
Hold up. Tua's the backup. It's not that he's not playing. He's back up.
Bro, what? Oh, it's like they're not going to take Jacoby out of the game.
Wait, where did you see that?
I just saw it online.
Ian
right
Rappaport
now.
tweeted a while ago.
Wow.
Wait. Kai, do your producer thing and put it up here. I'm not as good as you at it.
I have exactly 30 seconds, so I can
put it up for 30 seconds.
Yeah, Tua is the backup.
Is out today, but it says he's out today. He went through Tua. Wow.
I mean, who's even third on the depth chart right now? Because we got rid of what's his name?
Reed Sinnett.
Yeah, we got rid of Sinnett. So
honestly though, like I would rather like him play through the pain. Like I want to see if he could play with it. Like that's what I would like to see. I would rather that.
I definitely would too because I mean, it's all about evaluating Tua at this point. We know what Brissett is. I mean, what
exactly. I would rather just see like, yo, can he play a little hurt? Like, let me see what happens. Like, and if he sucks. I mean, he sucks. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? We're already thinking of trading him. Like, can't get any worse than that. I would rather see him play with an injured finger.
Kyle, last thoughts before you seem like you got to go out of here.
My last thoughts.
With this perspective shit.
Wong Dong Tigers. Meow.
The boy Kyle left out of here on a perfect note. Thank you for joining us. So fellas, okay, now that we know Tua isn't playing, you guys still I don't think we got the threat. Do you still expect the Dolphins to win this game, even with 2 out?
I put a ticket in for the Dolphins to win this game, so they better damn well fucking win this game. They better win this game. It's two very bad teams, man. I just show me something, a flash of anything. I mean, maybe the defense kind of showed glimpses for a half last game. Does that carry over today? Maybe. I'm hoping we see something. And that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm clinging on to. Maybe we can win with that. I expect a low scoring game, but I do expect to still win this game. We better win this game. I mean, if Flores and Greer want to keep their job.
Well, I think one of them is losing their jobs one way or the other at the end of the season. Here's my thing. I love listening to Dolphins fans and their continued optimism amidst what they've watched all season long. The fact that y'all can still honestly believe that the Dolphins will win this game is mind-blowing to me. They have shown me absolutely nothing, especially with Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback, to warrant any type of like leeway. Like, I don't think I give them anything. Not that you know Jacoby Brissett. We see what Jacoby Brissett in this offense is going to do. Who is it that you guys believe that the Dolphins should be relying on this game in order to try and come out with a victory? And we'll start with Threat.
We all know they're going to come out, do a great starting drive with my boy Jalen Waddle, and then we're going to abandon him for the rest of the game. If we want any chance to win, we have to actually figure out. I know we're this many weeks in, we're going to have to figure out how to actually use Jalen Waddle. I mean, we're going to have to figure it out. I mean, these little screen passes and little miniature routes, that has to stop. Take a deep shot, take a 15 to 20 yard pass play to Jalen Waddle. We got to use him in space better than what we are right now, because we're not utilizing him the right way. I've never seen a player so mismanaged. It's mind-blowing. So we have to figure out how to use Jalen Waddle. He's going to be the man of the game to me, and Mike G, of course.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why they don't do as many deep shots with Jalen Waddle is because of the ineptitude of the offensive line. Like, they don't provide you enough time to be able to set up and then do a 5-step drop and get the ball down the field to somebody like a Jalen Waddle. I do agree that he has been mismanaged this year. I just think that there are circumstances that have prevented him to being maximized with this Dolphins team. Simba, who do you believe is going to be a key to the Dolphins getting a victory if they can't get one?
I'm going to say Mike Gesicki and Jalen Waddle. But I'll put Mike Gesicki ahead of Jalen Waddle. I don't think this team has the creativity to use Jalen Waddle effectively, because it's not even about deep threats only. It's like they don't even use him in the mid game like at all. And so you can't tell me that you don't have enough time to get the fastest man, on this team, time to get to the mid level of the field, right? Like, you can't tell me that. There's no creativity. There's no spacing between these players. And then last game we saw that fucking Jalen Waddle didn't even know what he was doing, and Mike Gesicki, was. And I know that Mike Gesicki was correcting everything, but he was lost at the beginning of that play as well. Like, he didn't know what he was doing either. So I don't know. Like, I think Mike Gesicki is going to be the answer. Jalen Waddle, unfortunately, they're not going to use him correctly this game. Let's be honest. If they haven't figured it out in 6 games, I don't give Flores enough credit to say, oh, he's going to figure it out this game. Like, that guy is not going to figure it out.
It's 7 games? And
this is the 9th game.
It's the 9th game.
Oh, the 9th game, even better. We've been doing the same. Look, how sad is that for 8 games we've been doing the same shit? Like, tell me any of these games have looked different. Like, it just looks like we roll into the next game and we look the same shitty. Like, it doesn't look like we look tired. It just looks shitty the whole time. I've never seen such a bad Dolphins team.
Yeah, I think if it's for me, I think I'm going to be relying on the defense as a unit. Like, I think they're going to need to carry Jacoby Brissett in this game. No, the Houston Texans are not a good football team, but the Dolphins are not a good football team, and they're even worse when Jacoby Brissett is playing. So I think the defense is going to have to be the unit that steps up and carries this team to a victory if they're going to get one. Tyrod Taylor is just getting back off of IR. So hopefully the defense can kind of turn him over a little bit, kind of contain the limited weapons that they have on there and be able to get something going. Excuse me. So I want to let's focus on the defense a little bit because both of you guys named offensive players and who you're expecting to kind of help the Dolphins lead this. What are you expecting from the defensive side of the ball this game? Simba, we'll start with you this time.
So last game, I thought Flores did a good job in the first half with the Bills, but then in the second half, he didn't adjust. He kind of just got really scared. He stopped, sending blitzes and stuff. So this time, I want to see a full game, of blitzing. I would like to see that, especially a guy who just came back, from injury. It's going to take him a couple to, warm up and get the feel, to get back right into it. So I would like to see us keep him off his feet. So I want to see us send, Javon Holland. He loves going in for the sack, right? Like he loves tackling. That's his thing. So send the kid in, let him eat. I like to see Christian Wilkins, do some things. And Brandon Jones, when we send him to blitz, it's been pretty effective, right? So I want to see him, this game, I want to see us go after the quarterback. Like that's what I want to see us do. Like we're not usually putting pressure on quarterback. That's not the kind of scheme that we have. It's not the kind of players we have. But I want to see us send some blitzes, get Tyrod Taylor a little uncomfortable. That's what I want to see.
Okay. Threat, what do you want to see from the defense this game?
Like Simba was saying, I kind of want to see us get to the quarterback. Tyrod's coming off a hamstring injury. We've kind of struggled. Dating back to last year, we struggled with mobile quarterbacks. I don't know how mobile he'll be. This is the second mobile quarterback we've played all season. I want to see us contain Tyrod Taylor, make him have to sit in the pocket, make some passes. I want to see.
Damn, Simba, that's a loud ass water bottle, bro.
I want to see Agba. I want to see Agba and Phillips get to the quarterback. Only way we get to the quarterback is with creative blitzes. We need to win our one-on-ones. We need to win our one-on-twos. Agba needs to, make his money right here. Even though PFF has him as our highest graded player, I'm not really seeing that on the field effectively week in and week out. I want to see him get to the quarterback, him and Phillips. Wilkins, I feel like he'll continue to improve on the season that he's already having. I just want to get to the quarterback, get some stacks. We have to build on something. I mean, at this point, be good at something. One thing, at least. We're not good at anything.
Yeah, what player on the defensive side of the ball has really stood out this year? I mean, Javon Holland has flashed a couple of times, but he's also made his fair share of rookie mistakes. Jalen Phillip has flashed a little bit here and there, but it hasn't been consistent. Like you said, Agba hasn't been really consistent. The DBs have had problems with being in and out of the lineups. Like, is it fair to say that this defense doesn't really have an identity right now?
I mean, go ahead, Simba.
I would say it's fair to say that our coaching staff has zero development skills because, like, how do your players not get better? I think the only person who's getting better right now, and I think you can say that with conviction, is Christian Wilkins. I think he's the only guy who's really getting better. Javon Holland, I think he came in and he was a stud from the beginning, and I think he's understanding the game. But I don't think that they've actually done anything to help him out. So Christian Wilkins is the only guy I think. I don't think it's that there's no identity. I think that there's an identity on this defense, but the players are having a little bit of trouble playing what this defense wants. And I think that attributes to the development. We have no development skills. Like people have said it, Flores is not the easiest guy to play for, and he's not the easiest guy to work for. That has to say something with development.
I agree. There has been zero. Outside of Wilkins, other than that, there's been no development and progression. We've only seen regression from Jerome Baker, regression from X this year, regression from Eric Rowe. It's nothing but regression up and down the field. It's hard to say that there's anybody who's improving outside of Wilkins. I mean, not even back to the level that they were at last year, not before they got to the Dolphins. There's no level at all. It's nothing but regression. It's terrible, and the coaching staff has to take accountability for that.
Yeah. So we're talking about defenders. Let's switch over to the offensive side of the ball. The wide receiver room is doing what we knew that they would do, which is get hurt. You have Devontae Parker now IR Will Fuller seemingly is always on IR. That room is getting light again. And it doesn't seem like you guys have much depth there. Does this mean that the Dolphins should be relying more on the run game today? Threat.
Our running back situation is dog shit. I don't believe in any of the running backs. Our running backs are just as bad. Relying on the run game, I don't think Gaskin is a good running back. He's a good pass catcher out the backfield.
You don't think he's a good running back?
I don't think he's a good running back. I think he's an RB2, RB3 on most teams, if not every team.
Sure, I'm not saying he's an RB1. I'm just saying like he's a solid back.
He does what he needs to do in his limited touches, but his vision is very shaky and very questionable. He breaks no tackles. He's very slow. I mean, what are the pros that you're seeing outside of catching the football? He's not a great run blocker. Pass blocker. I mean, there's not much that you get from Myles Gaskin.
Well, I guess I'm just comparing him to everything else on the roster.
Exactly, which is it's piss poor.
Yeah.
I don't think we should rely on the run game at all, because if we do, we'll be down in the hole even more. We got to see the best guys on our offense eat, and that's Mike G and Waddle. It's plain and simple. If you want to get Gaskins the ball, get him the ball in the passing game, because he's not going to do anything in the run game. He doesn't read the holes. He has no vision.
But they are playing Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, bro. And I think that's something that we have to keep in mind. If you rely on his arm, you're definitely going to lose the game. Simba, do you think that the Dolphins need to get more production out of the running game today?
I mean, technically, yeah, you should. With Tua out, you should be able to. But I think to Threat's point, we don't have the running back that we can rely on when our quarterback isn't available. So, I mean, I like to see it. Maybe not Myles Gaskin, but maybe give Salvon Ahmed more chances. If we are going to be running a lot more, I would like to see Salvon Ahmed. Salvon Ahmed is fast. He's got speed, and there are times when he gets the ball, he makes things happen, right? So I would like to see maybe him get a couple more chances. If we're going to play the run game a little bit more, that's the route that I would go. Not necessarily Myles Gaskin. I would like to see, Salvon Ahmed get more chances.
So let's dig into. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm curious to even know if Myles Gaskin is even the best pass catcher on this team now with Duke Johnson on the roster. Will we see less and less of Myles Gaskin as the season progresses? I'm curious to see that.
Bro, Duke Johnson was playing at the Boys and Girls Club last week. I don't give a fuck about no Duke Johnson. Let's talk about this wide receiver. Let's get into that a little bit, because I think the wide receiver room was one of the ones that Dolphins fans were a little more excited about because it had some depth. But there was the worry that there will be injury risk.
You could throw a rock into that room and 4 or 5 guys might break like with one rock. I'm not even saying multiple. One rock.
And just being honest, that's what seems to have happened. Like, this room is breaking down at the seams. How disappointing is it to have one of your better units be snake bitten essentially by injuries at every turn, Simba?
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating as a fan. Talent-wise, we have talent on that wide receiver roster, in the room. But God, we just picked the most injury-prone people. What the hell? What is the talent evaluation doing here? Oh my God. I honestly expect next year to be a complete 360, less talent, more availability. I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting a bunch of people that, aren't stars, where they're coming from. But man, holy shit. Because even Waddle's a tackle away from getting hurt. How many times have we seen him on the sideline testing his leg after, a series? It's so disappointing. I honestly was hoping for better from this, but at the same time, I think we were all being naive that all of a sudden these players weren't going to get hurt, because the writing was on the wall, year in and year out, right? With Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, and then we brought Will Fuller, which was do you think the steroids had anything to do with it? No. He just did better the year he was on steroids. That's it. It has nothing to do with that. So holy crap. I mean, it's really disappointing, man. Because honestly, And the fact that we haven't even seen them all play together with Tua, like, holy cow. Like, just think about that, man. 9 games into the season, and we still haven't seen what this offense, like, unit was supposed to look like. Because it could look deadly. I'm not saying that Tua would be able to use it because of the offensive line issues, but damn, like, it's been a huge disappointment. And I honestly hope, and I wouldn't be mad next year if we start going for guys that are like I said, just always available. Like Christian Kirk's. Like, how many people are going to be looking for Christian Kirk? But he might be our new number 1 next year.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting point that you said, that you think you want to go for less talent, more availability. And the other point that you made about not seeing this offense perform at its fullest capability, because the entire team has not been healthy together for any single game this year. Threat, would you like to go that route? Less talent, more availability?
I definitely think so. Because what we gambled on Will Fuller, and right now, Will Fuller is in the Ski Mask Hall of Fame right now. First ballot Ski Mask Hall of Fame.
A chase champion.
He robbed us in plain sight. I mean, the writing was on the wall from the beginning. Yeah, I want to see more guys who are available to play, man. It seems like we're always dealing with this injury bug. We're always one injury away from a disaster in the wide receiver room, whether it was DVP last year, Preston Williams, year in and year out. I mean, let's talk about Albert Wilson. He's healthy. He's the greatest myth I've ever seen. I mean, they were talking like he was the next coming of Tyreek Hill in the offseason. And now, I mean, when it's time to put up or shut up, he's MIA. I mean, he's a shell of himself. He can't even catch the rock. I mean, I definitely want to go for more guys who are available and maybe a little less talent. I mean, I miss having like a Juice Landry, man. I miss having guys who are here to play. I mean, they might not be the most athletic, the most dynamic, but they make things happen because they're actually on the field. And when you're on the field, you can make things happen. When you're not, you're a bystander. You're like me.
Yeah, so let's talk about since we're on the topic of injury, let's talk about Tua. Let's get into it a little bit. Second time this year that Tua's been injured. He's going to miss time because of an injury. I think we've already said it. Like, if you get Tua as a quarterback, you have to be willing to accept the fact that he's going to miss games due to injury. At this point, is it even worth the trouble? Is keeping Tua worth the trouble? Threat, like,
keeping him past this year?
Yeah, sure.
I think we have to move on from Tua. And I'm a Tua stan. I don't think the environment is right. I don't think he's physically, mentally right here. It's just it's just not a match made in heaven like we thought it was going to be. I think we should move on from Tua. I think the front office is already going to do it. I think they burnt that bridge. I mean, I feel like they're very distant. And I don't think Tua is a Miami Dolphin come next year. I think we pull the plug. I mean, we pull the plug and we move on from him. Yeah. So it's not worth keeping Tua, but at the same time, we still have to play him throughout the season just so that we can raise his value up if there's any. I mean, we don't know how the rest of the league views him right now, but we do want to see him play so that we can at least not get robbed when we trade him off, when we send him off.
Well, to be fair to Tua, like, I think aside from maybe the last game against Buffalo, like the other 2 games that he played, Tua was solid. He made a few mistakes here and there, but I think he showed some flashes where it's like another team may be willing to invest in a quarterback who's had that much success at previous levels, and maybe they just might see the Dolphins as an inept franchise. Simba, you think it's time for the Dolphins to move on from Tua?
For Tua's sake, yeah. For the Dolphins' sake, yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm so like, the Dolphins suck. So this is like my view on the Dolphins, right? Like, they're not gonna get off the Watson, like, trade watch. They're not going to. So for the Dolphins' sake, yeah, just trade, Tua away. Go get Watson. Like, at least do it with conviction, go and get it. And then build that team, to win, right? But if you're going to just trade for Watson and then still suck like ass, like, if we trade for Watson, this is going to be a totally different team, right? This is not going to be a bunch of young guys on this team. You understand that we're going to have trading to is not the only thing that's going to happen. We are going to have a fire sale on a lot of young guys because we're not going to have time for these young guys to come up while Watson is here. You understand? So there's going to be a lot of. It's not going to just be Tua that goes. So I think you're going to see. They're going to pick a bunch of young guys and say, who do you think is going to be a star? Javon Holland, Christian Wilkinson, Raekwon. Other than that, there's going to be a bunch of guys on the defensive side that are going to go like Nick Needham and stuff. They're all gone. They're going to go wait for picks, and we're going to do the Tom Brady thing. Who wants to play with Watson? And our team is going to completely change. So if the Dolphins think that they can actually do that, go ahead, do it. I doubt you're going to prove me wrong because you're a shitty team. But like, other than that, I don't think it's fair to say Tua is injury prone. Like he is injury prone, right? Because the style that he plays, he takes a lot of chances. But you can't tell me that his DNA is different, where he has like brittle bones or something like that. Like it's not like that either. And he wanted to play after the first time he got injured with the ribs. I understand he shouldn't have played, but he was saying he could play, and then they shut it down by putting him on IR. And then this time, who's to say that he doesn't want to play this time either? Like, are they shutting him down to use, fragility, as an excuse? Because that's the kind of organization we have. Let's be honest. That's the kind of organization we have where they'll do some sneaky underhanded shit like that. But I think for his sake, he's going to ball out somewhere else. I honestly believe it. Like, we're going to trade him to the Saints, and then we're going to look like I can't use that word. We're going to look so dumb, that he's going to go into the Saints and everything. But to answer your question, I guess, is it time? It probably is, but not for the right reasons.
I want to say something about a point you brought up. You said earlier that if the Dolphins were to get Watson, things would be completely different. And I think that's a lie Dolphins fans are telling themselves, because Watson is 27 and 25 as a starter. I mean, the team getting Deshaun Watson is just putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound.
No, I'm not saying completely different in terms of like win and loss. I'm saying in terms of roster structure. Like, it is no longer the youngest team in the NFL. This is going to go to like, we need good players now. You get what I'm saying? It's not about developing players. It's about getting players that are like inactives. Okay. It's about getting players that are already established. It's going to completely change. It's going to be like what Tampa Bay is doing. Hey, who wants to play with Tom Brady? You get me? And then you're going to get a lot of people that are going to say, hey, I'll take a salary cut because I'm going to get to play with Watson, and they have a better team of, a better chance of winning. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So I got the inactives up here. The list of people inactive for the Dolphins today: Trill Williams, not a surprise. Preston Williams, also not a surprise. Sheldrick Redwine, Darius Hodge, Greg Little, Hunter Long, John Jenkins. Any name up here stand out to any of you guys?
Big John Jenkins. He's getting a lot of reps for the Dolphins. I mean, we're seeing him get more reps some weeks than Sealer. So I'm not a big John Jenkins fan. I'd rather those snaps go to Sealer and Wilkins and Co. So that's a surprise to see him on the inactive list. So let's see how they look with no John Jenkins there.
Simba?
Any surprise? Shit. Not really. Fucking, I thought there would be more, to be honest. Like that list looks like a lie. Like, I feel like we're gonna see some players in jerseys and all dressed up with like casts still on. Somehow.
I mean,
does anybody know what's wrong with Preston Williams? Like, why? What's going on with him?
He's Preston Williams.
Like, holy cow.
He can't get his head out of his ass either.
But like, as an agent, you're not telling him like, yo, you need to, like, there is not enough tape on you, buddy. Like, your contract's about to run out. You need to go figure it out.
Somebody said they think Tua is the next Rosen. He'll be on the practice squad in 2 yards. I think that's a bit harsh.
I think so too.
I truly believe that Tua Tagovailoa is going to be a really good quarterback in this league once he finds the proper situation. Juan has said it millions of times. He thinks year 5 is going to be the year that Tua actually takes that next leap and puts himself in the conversation of top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Do you guys believe that, or do you agree with John Mullen that Tua will be the next Josh Rosen threat?
I'm a Tua fan, so I'm biased on this. Anyways, I think year 3, year 4, we're gonna see Russell Wilson like numbers out of Tua. I think the Dolphins are just an inept organization. I think we set them up to fail. Double coordinators, people want to say that's his guy. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I feel like the Dolphins organization botched this. He'll be way better off somewhere else where an organization does what they need to do right by him. And I honestly feel like he's going to be elite 2 years down the line. I don't think he'll find his way out the league. He's just got to find the right situation, man. Not year 5, but maybe year 4.
Simba, do you believe that Tua is going to be a practice squad player in 2 years?
If it takes Tua 5 years to be better, the NFL will move on. So it cannot take 5 years. I don't know what guy besides Sam Darnold has been given 5 years. Like, I honestly don't see that happening. If it does, that means that people see things on the sidelines or in the practice, but I don't see it happening. He's going to have to do it to, what Thread's saying. It has to be 3-4 max years. And then I don't believe that Tua is a practice squad guy. This guy was the most highly touted, NFL college QB at the time. Even when he was healthy, nobody was putting Justin Herbert's name before him. Nobody was putting Joe Burrow before him. Like, what? I love how all these people are acting like, yeah, I knew that he was going to be a bust or whatever. Like, man, shut the fuck up. Nobody knew anything. Like, what the hell, dude? This guy has talent, he arm strength. Like, what arm strength, dude? The guy threw 40 yards, a 40-yard pass the other day. Like, it's not the easiest thing to throw 50, 40-yard passes. Like, a lot of things have to go right for that to happen. So he has talent. Oh, he can't anticipate. What are you talking about? Like, the guy is like, look at his anticipation. He's throwing guys before they're open. Before guys know that they're going to be open, he's throwing it to them. Accuracy. Dude, the guy's hitting everybody's hands. The fact that they can't catch, that's not his fault. Like, he can't throw it, run to the other side, and catch the ball at the same time. Find me a fucking QB that can do that, So this guy has tools. Is he limited? Yes. But if you didn't know he was limited before you drafted him, like, boo-hoo for you, man, because you don't know what you're watching. But at the same time, I do believe that he has talent and he's going to be a good QB. He has a chance to be a great QB, but I think the writing's on the wall. He can be a good QB.
Yeah, a lot of people in the comments are saying that Simba, the excuse train is coming through. The OG Alfredo Arteaga said this is sabotage. He's been held out against his will once in 2020, the Jets, and this year, the IR stint, and now this. That's interesting, bro. If the Dolphins are holding him out against his will, because they did say that he thought he could come back for the Colts game, and the Dolphins staff held him out. And if this is something like that again, then what reason would the Dolphins have to do this threat? Go ahead, Simba.
No. That's time.
Oh shit! I don't have the answers, man. I'm not sure why they would do that. To be honest with you, maybe one of you guys can harp on that. I'm not sure why they would do that, but it's very Dolphin-like.
I'm telling you, it's to paint a narrative. You paint a narrative on your QB being fragile, and then like Flores and Greer has had the biggest hard-on for Watson that I've ever seen, and it's only because Watson said, "I want you," right? Like, what the heck? That was the biggest curse anybody's ever put on Flores and Greer. Because if Watson wouldn't have said, "I don't want to play," if he would have just said, "I want to be traded," it would have been handled normally, I think. But the fact that he said, "I want to go to the Dolphins," has put upon a curse on Greer, Stephen Ross, and Flores, and now that's all they can think of, right? They have a happy marriage with a woman, and now America's Next Top Model that just won, or whatever, said, "I want you, Matthew," or whatever. And now I can't stop thinking about it. No matter what's happening, I can't stop thinking. When I'm eating, when I'm showering, when I'm taking a shit, I can't stop thinking about this woman. And that's what's happening. So now I'm going out of my way. I'm tripping my wife when she's walking down the stairs. Dumb bitch, you can't even walk. Like, I'm doing all these these things to make it seem like it's her fault, right? Like, oh, I can't take you anywhere because you're always angry. The girl has the biggest smile on her face. And I'm like, see, look at that little attitude. I can't take you anywhere. You know, like, I'm doing all these things to sabotage, you know, that's what they're doing to Tua. Like, they're not, like, let the kid play. Like, what's the worst that's why I was saying, what's the worst that would have happened if he had a hurt finger and he wanted to play? What's the worst that would have happened? He would have looked like Jacoby Brissett. That's it.
Point.
That is, I mean, that's a fabulous point. I think it's interesting. The Deshaun Watson narrative is crazy because they didn't end up getting him at the trade deadline, and I believe personally that the price is going to be more expensive later on down the line when they can't get him. But to say that they're doing this to make the Deshaun Watson thing inevitable, does that have any validity to its threat? Like, do you believe that could that be an avenue or reason as to why they're doing this with Tua?
100%, and I'm glad I've brought that to the mainstream attention. It's definitely a thing. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, it's definitely a thing, and I think that's what they're doing also to save their jobs. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe that, as the point was brought up. That's actually a great point, and I wish I would have thought of it earlier. That's a great point.
To this guy's comment, who would want to trade for a guy who keeps getting like sat out because of injuries? That doesn't make sense. They're not protecting Tua at this point. Like, at this point, there is no protecting Tua. Tua has to ball out, like, for his career right now. He has to ball out. You know,
well, I think that there will be a market for Tua even with all the sitting out. I think there's going to be a market for Tua out there in the league anyway.
Yeah, but Chris Greer is going to want a lot of picks. So, like,
well, if you sit him out, then you can't potentially think you're going to get a lot of picks for Tua Tagovailoa. I think you might be able to try garner maybe a second, third round pick.
Has to be a second.
It has to be a second. Like, I think the minimum that you want to accept is a second, but like, you can't expect the first round pick for Tua at this point because of what you've done to kind of like saddle him as an injury prone quarterback. And I don't know. Part of me believes that the Dolphins are going to regret trading Tua, but if you go from Tua to Deshaun Watson, then I mean, morally you will be conflicted. But in terms of on football field production, like, it's a clear upgrade.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, I'm not, like, people are like, oh, what the heck is going? Like, make no mistake, I think we all can say Watson is clearly levels ahead of Tua. Like, nobody's saying that or whatever. Like, it's easy to see that Watson is a stud, top 5 QB in this league. But, like, he comes with a lot of baggage, and a lot of people are acting like they know what the baggage is. But, like, you guys are fans. Like, nobody's in the massage room with him. And if you are, then please let us know. But like nobody's there. Nobody knows what's going on. You know, like, come on, man. Like, it's baggage with it. So there's reason to be concerned for a trade like that. And I think that's what, you know, some of us are. But we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, let's switch from a hypothetical trade situation to an actual trade situation that was talked about. The Baltimore Ravens attempted to trade for Xavier Howard, and it was said that the Dolphins wanted a lot of compensation draft-wise for that threat. Give me your thoughts. Do you believe that this is them trying to make an attempt to recoup some of the draft capital that they're losing this year for Xavier Howard, or do you believe that they just genuinely didn't want to give up on X?
I definitely think this is them trying to recoup some draft picks. I believe the story said they wanted a first and something else. Come March, I don't know if we get that same type of offer for X. Honestly, I would have pulled the trade and sent X on his way because the writing's been on the wall for a long time. That's a disgruntled relationship there too as well. I mean, it's nothing but disgruntledness going all through that damn locker room. I would have pulled the trigger on the X trade. I don't know if we can still garner a first come March. I'm really not sure, and I think we should have pulled the trigger there. I'm not sure what else they wanted. Maybe a later round pick or maybe a player. But I think that's a move you should have made, especially at 1-7. And Greer's job is on the line. I mean, I don't know what he can salvage this season. You have to do it now. I don't know if he's going to be there to make that trade for another draft pick. You got to pull that.
Yeah, Simba, would you have pulled the trigger on that trading X for a first or whatever to Baltimore?
shit. Yeah, I probably would have. I think me personally, yeah, I think I would have done it. Xavier Howard, I think he trains in the receiver, room, so that's why he's a little bit fragile. Honestly, he's a game away from getting another significant injury. I think I would have done the trade. Realistically, I think I would have done it. I think that they were saying, I think in the OnlyFins account, I read this morning that they were saying that they wanted Miami Dolphins to eat some of the salary, and that's what was kind of being held up on it. And they didn't want to do it. So I don't know how much of the salary they wanted to eat, because I think the salary is $13.785 million. So I would have done the trade though. I think it's time to do it, and let's see what Noah Igbo can do. He's probably gonna suck because if he hasn't seen the field this long, but I want to know how bad that pick is.
You think Noah would be the replacement for X out there? If wouldn't it be Nick Needham?
It would definitely have to be Needham or Coleman. I mean, Noah's unplayable. He's horrendous.
I want to see how bad he is.
You saw it last week.
I want to see 6 games of how bad did we fuck up.
Oh, you a pain freak, Simba.
It's not that I'm a pain freak.
You like BDSM.
I'm not you got to see what you have to see. You have to he had some good plays during in some of his games. There were some plays where it was just really good throws, and there was nothing he can do, man. I mean, but you got to let him play, man. No one doesn't know what a football is.
No, you don't.
The problem with Noah is he's there in position a lot, but he has zero ball skills. I mean, we're possibly looking at one of the worst first round picks in Dolphin history,
in NFL history.
I mean, let him play. He has to play. I agree, but I don't know if I want to see him as the starting outside corner. Maybe throw him in some plays, but I mean, we really do got to see the damage that we've dealt in our own organization with the pick of Noah. I don't even know his last name.
What are we, 1-8? We're 1-8?
1-7.
What are we worried about, looking so bad? What's the worst that's going to happen?
You look like you've been looking all year.
You're like, oh, I don't want to see him there. It's going to look really bad. What's the worst? We're going to continue losing? Oh, my, it can't get it. We're definitely not playing for a record right here. We're not even playing for draft picks. In my opinion, you said you wanted to evaluate players. That's how you evaluate players. You put him in a bad position and you leave him there. You let him do his thing. He's either going to sink or swim, but you can't do it in the practice field. You can't.
As a fan, I get the point. What's the worst can happen? But you got to put yourself in Flores' shoe. You got to put yourself in Greer's shoe. You got to save your own ass. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have, quote unquote, your best players out there, and throwing Noah out there is almost like, damn, you're purposely trying to lose the game. You know what I'm saying? You could lose your locker room like that with guys like that on the field.
Have you seen some of the snap counts? Yeah. Have you seen some of them? They are not putting their best players out on the field. They're definitely not putting their best players on the field.
I mean, they feel like they're the best players on the field, and they would have put Noah out there if they felt like he was NFL ready. And clearly he's not. Can they save their job if they were to finish the season 1-16? Can you save your job?
I don't believe they can do anything at this point to save their job. Somebody's getting fired.
Yeah, I think it's been made clear that wasn't the report Flores is going to, he's going to finish his contract. So he still has another 2 years left. He's going to finish it no matter what, and he'll be evaluated at the end. Chris Grier, he has no business choosing players for any NFL team. He should go work for Mike Tannenbaum. All right. Those people have fleeced teams for GM. That's what he needs to do. But I don't know. You can't tell me that Coach Flores has to keep doing the same thing he's doing.
Nah. So we got 10 minutes left in the show. Let's kind of get around to this game predictions. Let's do game. Let's do game score. And who you believe is the key into your prediction. So, Simba, who wins, who loses, what's the score, and why is that the score?
I'm going to say, shit, we're fucked, to be honest, man. I'm going to say 23 Dolphins to 17 Texans. And we need Gesicki to ball out.
Okay. Threat?
I'm gonna go 20 to 14 Dolphins. The Texans put up 3 points and 5 points in 2 of the last 3 games that they've played in. The Dolphins defense isn't great by any means, but that Texans offense is terrible. For us to win the game, defense, it's going to be a defensive game. I mean, we're not going to get much from the offense. We're going to get very limited. So we want to see Agba stunt. We want to see Phillips stunt. Those are my Agba. I'm going to go Agba as the key guy. Getting to the quarterback.
I believe the Dolphins are going to make history today. They're going to be first team in NFL history to lose a game 1-0. I don't know how you get 1 point, but the Texans offense is so bad that they're not going to give them full points for nothing that they do on there. 1-0. The Houston Texans. In all seriousness, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a terrible game to watch. This is supposed to be a mental health win. Now it's more pain. Yes, I think the Dolphins are going to lose 10-7 to the Houston Texans. And I think it's going to be because Tyrod Taylor comes out there off of injury and absolutely rips them to shreds. I don't know how much ripping the shreds 10 points to get you, but it's going to be better than whatever Jacoby Brissett do out there on the field. Like, that's for damn sure. Jacoby Brissett is not going to do anything. The only touchdown they're going to get is going to be some weird when it's going to be a defensive touchdown, a 70-yard run by Savon Ahmed or something like that. Like, nothing consistent, nothing fluid. It's going to be something random that the Dolphins get a score off of, and I think that they lose to the Houston Texans, fall to 1-8, and try and give the Eagles the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Like, that's where I think this is headed, bro. Like, I don't know how anybody can confidently pick the Dolphins to win games.
I mean, if you lose this game, I'm trying to, like, put myself together so I don't say anything wrong. If you lose this game, Flores is going to look like a fool. Like, you cannot lose to this Texans team like this. You can't. Like, you were just saying that Flores has to coach for his job. You cannot lose to this team. Stephen Ross is not the smartest guy in the world, but he knows that he's looking at shit on the other team. There are shit and pads, and we cannot lose to shit and pads. All right?
The Dolphins are also shit and pads.
You know, I know that we say that. A lot of this is we have a lot of good players on our team. If you compare our players, I think you could say we have better players on our team than the Texans do.
How?
Yeah,
y'all the same. Y'all 1-7.
But so you're gonna say it's player talent? That's the issue.
I don't think there's much talent on this team, to be honest with you. I think we overvalue some of our players a lot. I mean, we got X, we got Byron, you know, and that's the only well-known names that people are going to say on our defense. Then on the offensive side of the ball, you got Mike G and you got Waddle, who's a rookie. I mean, that's 4 players who people outside the Dolphins can say are good players. That's it.
Yeah, like, I mean, offensive line, you guys are terrible. Christian Wilkins, while he's been having a solid season, Christian Wilkins is not an elite football player.
He's not.
He's not. You guys don't have any elite players outside of, I guess you can call X elite, but he hasn't looked elite this year. Byron Jones has been solid, I guess. But yeah, Mike G is somebody who's trying to work his name into the conversation of being a top 5 tight end in the league. Jalen Waddle is just establishing his career. You don't have any running backs to speak of. The rest of your wide receivers are always hurt. So it's hard for me to say that this is a more talented team than the Texans. I mean, am I crazy, Simba? Like, am I wrong? Like, where do you see the talent that's
I think we have a lot more talent. I honestly do. Not on the offensive side. I think the only talented people we have on the offensive side that are playing obviously today are Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki. But on the defensive side, like Nick Needham was good, and he is considered good. I don't think you consider him a bad NFL player. You have Javon Holland. You don't consider him a bad player.
No. I'm not saying that they're bad players. I'm just saying that they're not. They're not.
I wholeheartedly believe. I wholeheartedly believe what Alfredo is saying right here. Like we should be a 5-3-4-4 team, not a 1-7 team. A 1-7 team is because of bad coaching, not because we have like that bad level of players. Beginning of the year, none of us thought that this was going to happen, and we were all harping on a lot of the names that we had on this team. Like there were a lot of players that we were all excited about, especially on defense, because that's where we put a lot of our like, you know, shits and giggles into. So I don't think like talent-wise, I don't think that we have shitty talent. I think that we have decent talent, not to this extent, like not to the extent to say that, oh, we should be, you know, like a freaking 7-1 team or anything like that. But I'm saying like, we have a lot better talent than the Texans than the Houstons do.
Yeah, I agree that at the beginning of the season that we were all on this train about how good the defense could be, how good this team could potentially be. But in the face of new evidence, you must adjust. And I think that what we've seen, I agree with Simba, but our coaches ended up switching with Bishop Sycamore coaches. For sure. Like, look, granted, this team has more talent than 1-7, but I'm not sure how much more talent. Like, I don't know if I'm willing to go as far as 5-3 or 4-4, like Alfredo said. Because honestly, like it's been so many different areas that have been let down in so many of these losses. Like 1-7 can't be on any one unit. Like multiple units have failed in different games that cause it to fall like this.
After watching these games, what would you say we should be right now? Like, should we be 1-7? Like there are games that we lost that we should have won, right? What would you say? What would you say our record should be?
Probably in the.
I think we're a 3-win team.
Yeah, like 3 wins. Like I think the Jags game is a game that you guys could have picked up.
But the Houston Texans, you watch them. Should they be at this record?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
exactly. So that right there tells you we are better. We are better than our record says.
It wasn't really a question.
We should be better than the Houstons. That's why I'm saying we should be better than them. We honestly should be better than them.
It wasn't so much a question of is our roster better? It's way better. You know, I think we should take the way out.
My bad. Not way out better, but we are better. Like it has to be better. Like you're not putting this much into Flores's. This is what irks me the most. Like we put a lot of stock into what Flores wanted on this defense, and it needs to be better than this. He can't complain and say he doesn't have the players he doesn't want. He had a fingerprint on everything on the defensive side.
Right, and I think that's my point, Simba. It's kind of like it doesn't just fall on the talent of this team that makes you a good or bad team. Talent-wise, sure, I agree with your point. You guys are more talented, I guess. But coaching is a talent. Being able to take that talent and actually make it usable on the field is something that the Dolphins haven't been able to do. And so it's hard for me to say that they're more talented when you go out there on the field, the product that you're putting on the field is eerily similar to what you're seeing from Houston. Houston might have lucked up and won a game, and y'all might have lucked up and lost a few of them. But it's just, I don't know. It's tough for me to put them on a pedestal too far ahead of what Houston is because they are the same record and the bunch of ineptitude that I've seen throughout the year. Anywho, any final thoughts on this game coming up before we close this out? I think we did a good job, guys, covering the Dolphins. I haven't hosted a Dolphins show before.
It's a miracle that we can talk about the Miami Dolphins for an hour.
Yeah, what the heck? I honestly thought a miracle. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a 20-minute show.
I got to the 10-minute mark and I'm like, holy shit, how the fuck are we gonna get through this shit?
Listen, bro. Y'all got the greatest host on the network, bro. Don't worry, we'll make a conversation out of nothing because that's exactly what the Dolphins are, nothing. Any final thoughts on the game, though, Simba?
Drink, enjoy your day, keep the TV on, keep the game on, but don't fucking sit there and watch it. You're going to waste your time. Clean the house. I'm sure some of you guys have a nasty-ass house you got to clean. You've been watching this Dolphins team. Take some time, man. Clean the house. Get ready for the new season, Thanksgiving coming. Watch the Heat. Start circling your calendar on a bunch of Heat games. Circle your calendar for all the post games, for the Heat post games, all the clutch corners. because it's going to be a great year for the Heat. Other than that, like, that's kind of what I'm thinking. No, for real, we should win. Honestly, I'm not going to pay too much attention. Well, I'm going to pay attention to the defensive side, offensive side. Like, I want to see, like, how ugly can it look. I think that's, like, it's going to look bad, man. This offense is going to look bad today. And, yeah, hopefully we win, man. That's my thoughts on this, man.
Yep. Threat, you get the final words of the show, my boy.
It's all about prevent.
Touchdown